And we're live. Yes.
He is Sandwich Man.
I am Sandwich Man.
Oh, man.
Did your email go out?
What? Yeah. You guys get... Hey, y'all. Did you guys get my email today about the Friday bean? Because we've noticed a couple issues with our email. So...
Please let us know.
Please let us know if you didn't get our email, unless you're not on our email list, in which case
don't let me know.
Don't let us know.
Because we don't want to know if you're not.
Yeah, don't tell us. It'll hurt my feelings and I'll cry. And I try to not send you guys too many emails, but I know that sometimes your inboxes just get too full. So
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't a problem like with the Alphas After Dark episode.
Yeah, but that was my fault.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you think I messed it up, is what you're saying.
Yeah, there's 40 people here.
All right, guys. Ew, Starla, I wondered what you were going to say next about the peanut butter between the toes thing.
Not till next After Dark episode.
Yeah, Alphas After Dark, peanut butter between the toes. And no, it's more that he likes to dance, and
Do I?
He loves to dance. And, you know, rather than wearing socks and greasing up the kitchen floor, he finds it more effective to have me cover the bottoms of his feet with extra creamy Jif peanut butter. That way he can just twirl and twirl and twirl around with his hands up in the air, holding bubbers and going tra-la-la-la-la-la. Can you guys picture that? I hope that one of you is a wonderful, like, portrait artist, because what I would really love is for someone to run with that idea and
don't
draw a picture of you're gonna spill your coffee.
I'm gonna not catch my cat on fire is what I'm gonna do.
Draw a picture of him in like a ballerina outfit and maybe Bubbers dancing beside him, and he's just got like a jar of peanut butter in his hands and peanut butter feet. That is what I want. I want that for my birthday. So that my birthday's not until February. You have plenty of time for our random artists out there. Ballerina Mark with peanut butter between his toes. All right, guys. Today we're going to talk about Etsy myths. We've done these videos in the past, so a couple of the 10 points some of you might have heard if you've been watching my channel for a while. There are a couple SEO myths in here, and I know that we do videos specifically on SEO myths. So if you want more SEO related things, I do have some episodes of the Friday Bean that cover those specifically, but this one is more recent. I've been seeing a lot of myths popping up this year, and I think it's because there's so many new sellers on the platform. The unfortunate thing about that is that these new sellers are hopping on YouTube, looking for, you know, Etsy videos to help them on their journey like we all do when we first start out. But I think that some of them might be watching like outdated videos and not checking on the dates when those videos were posted, just not knowing. I'm guilty of having a couple outdated videos on my channel, but if something is completely outdated and like to the point where it's harmful, I usually put outdated in the title.
I do get recommended your videos that are like 3, 4, 5 years old.
Yeah.
Like your oldest videos.
Yeah. And because they have so many views, but I've put like outdated on them because I don't want to remove them simply because they're some of our best performing videos in the past. And I hope if someone finds them in search, they'll see that it's outdated and then use that, you know, video to go look at some of my more updated content. But anyway, that's besides the point. I think that all of these new sellers are either, you know, just watching outdated content, or I know that there are quite a few Etsy gurus out there who are still teaching this stuff. In fact, we had somebody who was interested in enrolling in Handmade Alpha Academy. And if you're in the comments, feel free to let us know if it was you or don't, if you don't want people to know.
No names.
But someone emailed us and said that they wanted to join Handmade Alpha Academy, but they were worried because they had just bought a course from somebody who told them that it was okay to do like a lot of the things that we're going to talk about today. And I'm like, you don't have to enroll in my program, but stop listening to the person that you're listening to right now and get a refund if you can, because
if it sounds too good to be true, or it sounds like it could get you in trouble, it probably is or will.
Yeah, because a lot of these things aren't just, you know, oh, you do them you do them and you look silly. A lot of them are you do them and Etsy doesn't like index your shop properly, or you start building a negative listing quality score, which can keep you off of search pages. So this is all really important stuff. So that's what we're going to talk about today. If you want more Etsy myths, I've got tons of videos on my channel. I've got a couple new ones on here, but this seems to be the 10 most prominent myths that I see that just don't go away. I think that a lot of them were true at one time, or maybe they weren't true, but Etsy never told us that they weren't true, so we just went on believing it. For example, before Etsy told us that they don't read descriptions, I was one of those people who said, make sure that you're keyword optimizing your descriptions, because like 10 years ago, we didn't know. Etsy didn't tell us not to keyword optimize our descriptions. In fact, I think that they told us to, but they didn't specify that it wasn't them reading them. It was Google. So we'll get more into that in a few minutes. Looks like we've got 105 here. So real quick, I wanted to just make a couple of quick announcements before we get into our list. Handmade Alpha Academy is my personal training course. It will be opening on Monday. It only opens twice a year, once in June and then once in December. It'll be open for only 10 days enrollment period, but once you're in for life. Completely self-paced. It is a 9-module course, around 16 to 19 hours of content. And it's an A to Z course. If you're confused about Etsy, SEO, branding, the psychology of marketing, and an actual marketing strategy to get your business running, we have that course coming on Monday, and that'll be open until the 24th. And we're also going to have a free masterclass. Most of you guys who have been around for a long time have already taken it, the Climbing the Mountain masterclass. That's going to be on Saturday the 19th. And that's free for everybody. We like to do the free webinar during HAA enrollment. That way, if anybody's new, if they haven't experienced my teaching style and they want to know kind of like a little sample of what they can expect from my teaching, while also still getting to watch a webinar and learning some things, because this isn't just a BS, webinar. I actually am teaching. Yep. There's a link down below. You can sign up for that. I'm not going to be sending emails about it until HAA is already open, but I figured I'd go ahead and give you guys the link early so you can make sure that you're registered for it. That will be public on the channel for the first time. We normally do these in like a private video. We've decided to do it public on the channel, but it will only be available while Handmade Alpha Academy is open. So if you want to watch the replay, you'll only have until the 24th, and then we're going to be taking it down. So that's on the 19th. And then our last little announcement, most of you guys saw it already, but Wes from, where are you here, Wes? Wes from, it's New Arcadia Metal and Works, but I believe that your Etsy shop is just New Arcadia Metal, correct? Wes is our 2021 Alpha of the Year. I was supposed to announce it today, but I got impatient and announced it last night because I saw that he was online. So that's super duper exciting. We've only had 2 past Alphas of the Year because Handmade Alpha Academy is 3 years old. 3 years? We're going on year 4, I think. 3. Yeah. So we've got Amber and Lori, and now Wes is our first dude. He's our first bro alpha. So thanks, Wes, for entering, and for all the Handmade Alpha Academy students who entered. That's one of the perks of joining HAA is you get to enter our super cool Alpha of the Year contest, and we send you an $800 camera and some fun stuff. So Wes, I'll be getting with you soon about that, because I also need your Wall of Flame interview.
Now hold on for a second.
Oh, we got
rest your lungs.
Okay.
Midwest seller asked if she could split between a couple of different accounts. When HAA actually opens, just message Starla at handmadealphaacademy.com and we'll set something up for you.
Yeah. Is he the penis guy? No, Wes, he makes metal.
Good job demonetizing the stream there.
Oh, it's a body part. It's not a bad word. It's not a body part.
Okay.
No, that's Johnny. Wes, it does the metal roses and metal wall art. So I'll be posting his shop too, but he's also tagged. His page is tagged in the
When
Facebook
do I
group.
learn the secret handshake? That is another Alphas After Dark thing.
All right. Are we good?
We're good. We're ready to start.
Wes, that comment is amazing. I want a screenshot of that
You
comment.
could be both, Wes. you could smith.
For those
without an apron, if you know what I mean.
For those who don't know, Johnny makes little phallic covers for pranks that you put over like your, what are they called? Your valve, your air valve for your tire, and you can just like swap it out for a little.
It's fine, Charlie.
A little appendage while your friend's not looking. His shop is ingenious. I love his shop. All right, guys, let's talk about Etsy myths. I've got 10 of them, and then one bonus myth.
And then do it.
Yeah,
Let's do it. I'm gonna drink my coffee. You can keep. So you're in a talking kind of mood today, so you go ahead.
All right. So the first one is one that if you've been on my channel for a while, I've got a whole video about it. But I just recently had someone email me and tell me that their coach told them to do it, and that is to renew all of your listings every single day to take advantage of Etsy's organic boost. For those who don't know, new listings on Etsy get a small boost in search. Etsy does that. That way they can gauge how shoppers will interact with that listing within the first 60 to 90 days. And then Etsy will assign it a listing quality score based on that activity. So your placement in search for the first 60 to 90 days is not your permanent placement. You have to wait until people start engaging with that listing, clicking on it, buying it, favoriting it after finding it organically in search. You can't just send it to all your friends and say, "Hey, go favorite my listing." We'll talk about that in a minute too. But if they find it organically in search, then all of these things positively affect your listing quality score. And once Etsy has enough data on how shoppers interact with that listing, you get your listing quality score that's more permanent, and then Etsy knows where to put you in search. Now, the problem is that people assume that if they renew their listings every day, that Etsy's going to keep them boosted. Now, in reality, what that really means is that Etsy's seeing that you are renewing that listing every day, and people still aren't buying it. And it might work for a couple of your renews, but after a while, what tends to happen is you start to lose your listing quality score there because nobody's buying this thing, and you're piling 20 cents a day into your listings, refreshing them all, and nothing's happening. People still aren't buying, and this sends really bad signals to Etsy. So anybody who tells you to renew your listings every single day, this is really, really outdated information. It used to work.
Yeah. It used to do a lot of stuff for your shop, but that was before Etsy kind of had what I think their current version of SEO is fleshed out.
Their algorithm.
Yeah, before they had their algorithm fully fleshed out. Because back in the day, I'm assuming it was more like a restart switch on that little bump boost you get when you finish an upload. And their system saw it as that, but now it's a little more advanced. And
not to mention, if it takes 60 to 90 days for Etsy to fully index your listing, and it restarts every time that you renew, that's very counterintuitive. If you're restarting that, you want them to index your listing. You want to know where your listing is going to be. You want to have a permanent, nice little place carved out in search. You don't want to have to restart it all the time, because then you're not able to gather data. You're never able to know how good your SEO is. And you can't improve. So making sure that you do your SEO, get your keywords in there, and then let them have a test period. You need to do your SEO and then let them sit. We did an episode of the Friday Bean a few weeks ago that was just called How to Do Keyword Research and SEO with eRank, I believe. And that one will teach you, if you don't know how to do keyword research and how to check on your listings and, how to track them within eRank so you can see how they're performing. We cover all that in this video, but just make sure that you're doing your SEO and then giving time for those listings to really sit. And if you've got a listing that's doing really, really bad and you know that you want to change your SEO, you've already waited and you're ready to, add some new keywords, you can totally renew that one listing so Etsy recognizes those changes faster. if you're just doing it to say, hey, I made some changes. I would like you to, re-index me for these new keywords. Can you please notice that I've made these changes? Sure, you can pay the 20 cents and renew that listing. Just don't go in and do it every day, and don't do it to all of your listings.
There's literally no point.
Yeah, it can be very harmful in the long run. Next thing is another E-rank and SEO related myth. And that is going directly to Etsy, going to the Etsy search bar, typing in a few keywords related to your product, and trying to find your product in Etsy search to see where you rank. This is completely subjective because Etsy factors in localization and personalization features.
Yes.
So unless you find yourself shopping from yourself, which you shouldn't because that's illegal, shilling, you're not going to find yourself in search because everybody's search results are going to be different based on things like your location, like your past search history, and things like that. Etsy's going to recommend to you products they think that you're going to like. And they're going to recommend to Mark products they think he's going to like and recommend products to me that they think I'm going to like.
And they're also going to recommend things that people that live around me like.
Exactly.
Trends have a tendency to be big in areas, not just with certain small groups of people. Usually you'll have like your little, you'll have your societal like trends where everybody's looking at things, and then you'll have your group trends, which would be Facebook groups and fan trends and things like that. And then you'll have your personal trends, but then you'll have your local trends. Like you probably notice this if you've ever gone on vacation anywhere. There's like one thing that you see everywhere. Like if you go down to like Tennessee, there's the wood sculpture buildings. They're friggin' everywhere because it's something that everybody does down there. So that's how the personalization data works. It gives you stuff that everybody wants to see. It gives you stuff that you want to see, and it gives you stuff that people in your area want to see. Which is why using something like a VPN doesn't help you, because you're going to be getting the information influencing from the area that the VPN is based off of. Using an incognito window doesn't work because basically what an incognito window is just it's like opening a different browser that you've never used before. It doesn't have any of your search history in it. It doesn't have anything like that, but the IP address is the same. Your internet service provider still sees it as the same. Etsy still sees it as the same as you. It doesn't change anything. So there you go. Sorry, rant over.
So don't, and we used to be able to look for our rank by going to Etsy search. This is more outdated information. Mm-hmm. It used to be the same for everybody, but Etsy's algorithm has gotten smarter, and that's a good thing, right? We want, if we have a very specific type of product, we want Etsy to recommend it to the people who are more likely to buy. If you've ever run like a Facebook targeted ad, you know what that's like, where you have to put in like interests related to what you're promoting, and then they will take your ad and show it to people who are interested in the type of thing that you're selling. That's what you want to do. That's smart advertising. Now, if you are just trying to see how good your SEO is, erank.com once again has a tool to do that. Yep.
The answer to your question.
The eRank rank checker will show you what page and position you would land on if there was no personalization. Yes. And this isn't just a guess. This isn't an estimate. This is data.
This is a fact. It is from Etsy's API. It is directly from Etsy.
Yeah, because Etsy can't tell us the personalization for everybody, right? It's different for every person. But what they can give to eRank is the API data that tells us where we would be with all of that stripped. So what we can do with that information is look at the listings that are ranking on, pages 1, 2, 3, and know that for one, we don't need to touch those listings. Those listings are doing the very best that they could possibly do for the keywords that we're trying to rank for, right? But what we can do is go look at the listings that aren't doing too well, the ones that are way back on like page 10. And then we know where to start. We know where we need to actually start improving our SEO and trying to get our listings to rank a little bit higher. I usually think pages 1, 2, 3, and maybe even 4, if you're trying to rank for a really, really competitive keyword, those are prime spaces. Once you start getting back to pages 5, 6, 7, it gets a little bit harder. But I've noticed that Etsy shoppers, they seem to do a little bit more digging than what you would on Google. You know, Google, you go to page 1 of the search page and you never go to page 2, right? Unless you absolutely can't find what you're looking for.
Etsy's a little different.
Etsy's different. If people are shopping, they'll usually dive a couple pages in. So pages 1, 2, 3, and maybe 4 are ideal to me. I think that those are some prime spaces.
Amina had asked a question.
Yeah.
Does the lower listing score also apply to listings that haven't sold in 4 months? Is it better to copy the listing, publish it as new, and delete the old one? Not necessarily.
Not if they've never sold. And keep in mind that right now is the slowest time of year. I would not be making any changes based on the data that you see through, I would say May, June, July, and even August.
It's an exceptionally slow. Summers are usually slow, but it is an exceptionally slow summer.
And the reason for that is everything's opening up. So people who didn't get to go out last year are finally getting to go out. So I wouldn't make any drastic changes right now. I would say that if that listing has sales and positive reviews, it probably still has a decent listing quality score. But if it's never, ever sold and it's ranking really low, I might start, considering doing some keyword research there and just seeing if you can improve anything. And then you don't need to copy and recreate the listing unless you're positive that it's not due to just slow traffic on Etsy, because any past sales and past reviews that you've gotten have helped your listing quality score. Those are things that help it.
This is an interesting one. I'm not sure. With reindexing, if you change just one keyword, for example, is Etsy just taking the 60-day window to reindex for that one keyword, or is it the whole listing?
From what we understand, it's any changes to your SEO. If you were to just swap out a single little word, they still have to have time to notice you for that word.
But we don't know if it resets the entire counter for the whole listing. I would say probably not.
Anthony Wolf tells us that if we have a listing that is performing well, that we should not take anything. We should just leave it alone. Even if you have something stupid in there, if it's doing really, really well, just leave it alone. So and Anthony is probably the smartest Etsy SEO guy out there. So
that's all for questions so far.
All right, cool. So we talked about not renewing listings. We talked about how to check your rank or without, going directly to Etsy search. Third thing is that like ladders can help your visibility. This one's really outdated and I still see it. And the Etsy groups that don't have moderators and admins and everybody just runs wild and does whatever the heck they want.
Most Etsy groups.
I see this almost every single day in these groups. And it's, hey, let's support each other. Here's my shop link. I'm going to go like all of the pages that are posted under mine. So make sure that you come and give favorites to all my items, and then I'll give favorites to all your items, and then you got to favorite everybody under your post who posts their shops, blah, 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 blah. No, that's not how it works. Favoriting items does not help you at all unless those listings are found organically through a search. So if somebody is shopping for an opal engagement ring, and they type opal engagement ring into Etsy, and then on page 3, they find one that they like and they favorite it, that could help that listing. If that same person took their opal engagement ring and posted it in an Etsy group and said, everybody go favorite my opal engagement ring, Etsy knows that traffic came from an external source and it's not going to count the same. Like ladders are nothing but a waste of time. And not only that, but if you're somebody who follows your conversion rates very carefully, it's going to mess them up because everybody's going to be going to that listing and no one's going to buy it. That doesn't help. All these little seller games that you see, Etsy's smarter than that. Etsy is way smarter than any of us will ever be. Their algorithm is very smart, and they know when you're trying to game their system.
It's a mentality that I think comes from early sellers that a lot, and not everybody, but a lot of sellers will start out in the MLM
Yeah.
And that's the kind of activity that you see in those kind of things where you just get your friends to get in on it and like it and buy it. And at the end of the day, yeah, you make a couple of sales off of doing things like that with those people that are coming to your shop and liking it. And
I never have. I've never made sales doing
but
that.
it doesn't build repeat customers. It doesn't really do anything for you other than like the quick buck with your friends buying your stuff. I'm saying with like friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything for you in the long term. And it's a waste of time. You could be putting your energy into places that actually make a difference for your business.
We had 2 questions if you want to, but those games are called like ladders. Anything that feels like you're trying to game the Etsy system is probably not a good idea to do.
It's either not going to work or it's going to get you in trouble.
Exactly. Neither of which is good.
Is it worth adding products right now? Yeah, why not?
Absolutely. 60 to 90 days to index your listings. And we will begin seeing shoppers return to the platform as early as August. We usually see holiday shoppers start coming in around September, and then October and November are our busy seasons. I would say that right now is a fantastic time to start adding products. In fact, I think that right now would be a great time to start working on holiday products. And I know that that sounds absurd, especially if you live in a place where it's like 100 degrees outside. Assuming that we're talking about freedom units. But
yeah, if it's 100°C outside, we're in trouble.
but really, I think that right now is a fantastic time to start working on products like this because it takes a long time. And if you go to a craft store right now, I don't know if anybody, has been into like a Hobby Lobby recently. Their Thanksgiving stuff's already out. It's out already. So
yeah, I don't know why.
Because it's a store.
It's because it's a meme. Every year they do it, and it's been like this for like the last 5 years. Every year they've done it like 2 or 3 weeks earlier, and now it's like barely even summer.
It's not summer yet.
Yeah, it's not even technically summer, and they had the stuff out for fall. And like last year, it was like middle of summer. They had the stuff for like Halloween out, and now it's like it's already out. Like why?
But yeah.
Did we get this one? How long to wait before ranking is accurate? Indexing takes 60 to 90 days.
Yeah, there's no
specific number. I'm sure some people it's probably even earlier than 60 to 90 days if it's solid concrete enough.
Yeah, 60 to 90 days is what we know. I would just check your rank with the rank checker and just kind of keep an eye on things.
Amber said, I don't even know what my top seller is right now. I think for the type of store that you run, not having, like you have a niche, but you have so many different products for so many different kinds of people, so many different types of dog lovers and animal lovers and stuff like that, that it's probably normal for your kind of shop to not really have a bestseller. All
right, we'll do Agnita's and then we'll go ahead and keep going with the list.
What percentage is considered a good listing quality score?
You don't know your listing quality score.
You don't know it.
That is an invisible score that Etsy keeps that we do not know. Unfortunately, you don't know what your listing quality score is, and you do not know what your customer and marketplace experience score is. But when you have a good one, because those are the listings, the ones who just seem to sell. Like you have a bestseller out of nowhere, and it feels like when it sells, it always sells again right afterwards. Have you guys ever had that happen to you? Something will sell, and then that same exact item will mysteriously sell like the same day or the next day. And it happens. It's really eerie. It's because there's a good listing quality score there because Etsy recognizes. Yeah, Etsy recognizes that somebody bought it.
And if you're doing everything right for that listing, like you've got all the SEO hammered out, all your pictures are filled out, everything is filled out correctly. You just made a sale. Maybe you've got an ad running on that particular product as well. It's just pushed to the absolute forefront of whatever that industry is.
All right, I'm going to keep going because that question
That's fine. Let's try to get through it, though, because I don't want these questions to get deleted.
Yeah, that's fine. That one isn't related to anything that we're talking about. Go. All right, next one. A lot of people ask this. I haven't really seen anybody post that this is true, so this is more of a question that we get. A lot of people have asked me if adding listing videos helps your search ranking. The answer to that as of right now is no. But and this is how I explained it yesterday during the eRank Q&A. If somebody comes up to you and says, I have 11 lottery tickets here and I'm going to give them all to you, and one of them is a winner, You don't know which one, but one of them's a winner. And here's all 11. And you say, oh, okay, I'll take one. No. If I'm offering you 11 and I'm telling you that one wins, you're going to take all of them, right? You want all the lottery tickets. That's how I feel about the 10 listing photo slots plus the one video.
Yes. If you're about to buy a new car and somebody's got 3 or 4 pictures of the car online, but they've also got a walk around where they show every little part of the car, which like you're going to want to watch the video to see how the car actually looks in person, right? And I feel the same way about the videos. I love when shops have videos, and it doesn't do anything for your SEO. The video helps your listing about as much as another picture helps your listing. It's not really going to do anything for you, but it's for the customer. It's
another opportunity to convince the customer to buy.
Absolutely. And it shows that you're putting in the effort, because a lot of shops don't use the videos, like a lot of shops. And if you're not good at making videos and you think that your video is going to be just absolutely butt awful, fine. Watch some videos and learn, but I think they help.
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
You can even do like a little slideshow video. There's so many things that you can do. We talk about different, like the Motion Leap app that we talked about is a free tool, and we discussed that during last week's episode of the Friday Bean. There's so many things that you can do, but it's not going to help your search ranking. It's just going to, be another thing that could push a shopper potentially over the edge and get them to buy. So if you've got time over the summer, if your sales are slow, like most people are, get those listing videos done now. That way they'll already be in your shop by the time traffic starts picking back up.
Just remember that the videos do not have audio. Yes, they do not have audio. No. Not yet.
Next thing is that Etsy will file copyright claims against your shop. That is not Etsy's job. Everybody, I see people who are like, Etsy isn't taking, I see all these Disney shops and Etsy isn't taking them down. Etsy can't.
Etsy can't. It's not their job.
Etsy cannot take down a shop.
Copyright has to be filed by either the person that it belongs to or an organization representing the individual or the business. And in order to be representing them, they have to be like a paid organization. That's like what you see with music, with YouTube copyrights and things. It's usually because that person is under a label or they have a certain company that they upload their music through, and that company is responsible for security on those things. It's the same thing with Etsy. Etsy doesn't represent its sellers.
Yes. So basically what happens is big companies like Disney, for example, will have an entire team of lawyers.
Yep.
And those people's jobs will be to sit and watch. And if you've got 1 or 2 sales and you've got like a little Disney themed shop,
you're not a threat.
They're probably not going to come after you right away, but they're going to watch and they're going to wait. And they're going to wait until you make a little bit of money and wait until you have a little bit of traction. Mm-hmm. And then they're going to come after you because they're going to have a nice big case against you where you've made several $1,000s using their intellectual property. So you have to be extremely careful. And yes, I know that tons of sellers do it. This is one of those things where most of them get caught eventually.
And a lot of the ones that don't are in places like China where they're not going to respond to Disney copyright claims and they'll just start up a new shop.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Let me see. Next one is, we kind of touched on this briefly. It's keyword optimize your descriptions. Etsy tells us that you can keyword optimize your descriptions, but it is not Etsy that looks at them. It is Google. And the unfortunate thing about Google is that if you've ever seen a listing for Etsy on Google, it doesn't lead to a product. It almost always leads to a search page related to a query. So for example, if I was looking for, I don't know, Judge Judy mug on Google, I might get a little search page from Etsy that has all of the Judge Judy mugs on it. But that's not going to take me to a singular listing with a Judge Judy mug. You can keyword optimize your descriptions, but I wouldn't do any of the old tactics like copying your entire title and pasting it in the description. That's something that we used to do. I've actually got a video that I did, one of my very first videos, I talk about that because it used to be one of those tactics that everybody did. Mm-hmm. Now it's already been proven that it doesn't do anything. It looks silly. So don't do that. But if you're already writing a good description, you'll find that it's easy to put your major keywords in there. If I'm selling a Judge Judy mug, I'm going to say something like, oh, I guess I need to turn it so you guys can see the Judge Judy. If I'm going to sell this mug, I'm going to put something on it like, this Judge Judy mug holds 16 ounces of your favorite beverage or whatever I'm sticking in my description. But I've already used my main keywords there, right? So just write your description as accurately as possible and cater it to the shopper, not to an algorithm, because Etsy's not going to look at them, and your chances of ranking on Google are not very high, unfortunately. Google and Etsy are two entirely different animals.
Speaking of animals.
Hello, Mr. Animal. He seems very happy.
He is. He likes being snuggled.
Next one. This is one that I hate. It's that if you run out of space in your tags, you can put your extra tags into your materials. I get so mad when I go to a listing and then I see my materials their materials listed as gift for mom, gift for dad, great gifts for grandma. I'm like, those are not materials. Etsy doesn't read the materials that you have listed. There is no reason whatsoever to put extra keywords into your materials. In fact, it looks really silly, and it's a major disservice to your shoppers who are trying to see what your products are made out of, and you've just got extra keywords in there. Etsy doesn't read materials. So if you're putting extra tags in your materials, you're wasting your time. And you're probably confusing people who need to know what your products are made of, especially if you're selling something like jewelry where people need to know the materials in order to make sure that they're not allergic. I really hate this one. Let's see. We've got 3 more. So let's
pound out a couple of questions and then we'll...
Okay. Way up.
Yeah. We had a lot of comments. Do you think we need a new store for a different type of product? I sell shirts, but I want to sell templates as well.
Unfortunately, that's really subjective. I can't tell you what you should do.
Niche.
Yeah. I would say that the most important thing is that you have a consistent target audience. And there is a consistent theme that if someone goes into your shop, they understand what they're looking at. You should make sure that you have an ideal customer in mind and you can define your target market. I've got several videos on target market. We teach target markets in Handmade Alpha Academy. We have an entire building a target customer profile in Handmade Alpha Academy. The problem really comes from shops that have a bunch of random things that just don't make sense. Does it make sense? And if not, can you make it make sense? So that would be my big question.
And one is shirts, and they sell templates. If you're talking about shirt templates, I wouldn't sell the shirts and the templates in the same store. I would sell them in different places. We have other sellers that will sell their shirts and then will sell all but their best seller images that they put on their shirts as things on the side. So it's kind of up to you. Okay, I listed something yesterday. Today I checked via listing audit and E-rank, saw which tags were good and which ones weren't. And then I replaced the bad ones with researched ones. Today, will that affect my listing indexing? Doesn't matter if it's only been 1 day.
I mean, yeah, but it's only a day. Every time that you change something, Etsy has to have time to recognize those changes.
Yes.
It's only been a day, so it's going to matter the time frame of a day. So, you could try renewing it. I don't know. It's such a specific question. If it were me and I made changes, I would renew the listing.
So in the future, in the future, okay, it's December 26th. Time to take down the Christmas stuff and put up the Christmas stuff. Yeah, basically. Do you think this year buyers will start Christmas shopping even earlier because of last year's shipping delays, which are likely to become the new normal? Yes, actually. I have a bit of a prediction with this one, and I can't guarantee that it'll be true or if it'll reflect on Etsy. If y'all haven't noticed, in pretty much every industry where things are popular, scalping is the new thing.
Pokemon cards,
anything technology related, computer parts, game consoles, video games, everything. People are buying them with the purpose of reselling them. And I don't think it's that people are going to be shopping early because they want to. I think it's because companies are going to release stuff early, scalpers are going to buy it, and you're going to have to pay exorbitant prices for things online. So, yes, I do think people are going to start shopping early for Christmas this year because they won't have a choice. But I don't know if that will reflect over into the Etsy market. I know for a fact that it's going to happen in every other market. But Etsy isn't a place that gets scalped, so I don't know.
I think it'll stay pretty consistent. We usually start to see shoppers come back around August, September is when we start to see like Christmas shopping specifically.
I think it's all going to reflect on whether or not companies respond to the scalping by releasing products early or trying to control the situation. Because I could see a lot of companies releasing stuff in like September in order for it to just sell out.
Yeah. Hey, Sharon, scroll back down. Sharon said, I thought Etsy did read materials as extra tags. No, they read attributes as extra tags, not the material section where you type them in yourself. If you're selecting materials from a list of attributes, that is what they read as extra tags. I'm talking about where you type in your materials down under your description and by your tags section. They do not read those. Only the attributes, which is the set of drop-down menus that are under your title when you're filling out your listing. Oh, all the people saying that they get buys.
Yeah. Getting repeat buyers. Does that help your Etsy scores? Any sales help your Etsy score?
I don't know if they help more than just, if two different people were to buy.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I know that purchases of singular listings, repeat purchases of listings help those listing quality scores.
I honestly love having a video option for my jewelry. There's just no way to fully show off the beauty of sparkly gem. Exactly. Do you think a video of me cutting the soap I make would be a good video? Yeah, I think so. I think that's a good way to show the dimensions of the soap. Videos have a better time showing like the aspect of size with things. So like, because I use only bar soap other than for my hair.
Sierra, TikTok, like the soap cutting is super trendy right now too. I'm sure
There's no noise though. There's no noise with the Etsy videos.
There's no noise with soap cutting. It's
with the ASMR. Yeah, sure there is.
Just the watching. I think that
I think it'd be a good idea.
Yeah, totally.
Experiment with camera angles. Maybe show a couple of your friends and ask them which one's like the most satisfying. I would definitely maybe look up some satisfying cutting videos and try to see what angles they use. It's big right now. Do you think that was the same one. Got a question about reviews. If we want to share good reviews on social media, do we need to ask the customers? Nope.
You don't, but it's good practice. Otherwise, I would just get rid of their name and their profile image.
Yeah, I would. If you're going to display their name, it's a polite thing to do, but for one, it's public, so you technically don't have to. It's publicly displayed for anyone without a user account logged in to see. And it's your shop that the review is on. So your discretion entirely, but it is the polite way to go.
Yeah, or just blur out their picture and name.
Yeah. Or their last name, if you just want to show their first name. There's a lot of different ways that you can do it. Question, what are your thoughts about free shipping versus not? I ship from Europe to USA. Is it better to attract customers with a lower price than surprise with shipping or include the product price?
Here's the thing. There's no such thing as free shipping. Shipping is always getting paid for by the customer, whether you're looping it into your product total or you're adding it as a shipping price. If you're selling to a market outside of your country where the shipping price is going to be higher, we typically know that we're going to be paying a higher shipping cost. We know that if we're buying something from overseas, the shipping cost is going to be higher. Just like if you were buying something from the US, you would expect the shipping price to be higher. My view on the free shipping guarantee thing that Etsy pushed is that if you can do it, great, cool. It's probably pretty easy for people who sell things like sticker sheets and stuff like that. If you can't afford it, don't do it. I have not seen anybody say, man, this free shipping guarantee has killed my shop. People aren't filtering by free shipping. And Etsy, they said that they were going to prioritize listings that shipped free. But if you do any search query on Etsy right now and you click on a couple listings on the first page, not all of them are going to have free shipping, which tells us that Etsy decided that that probably wasn't a good idea. Otherwise, all of the listings on the first page of the search query would ship free. Now, it will affect people who are filtering to only see listings that ship free.
But most people don't filter at all.
Yeah,
they search what they want to search for. If they don't find it, they reword what they're searching for and then try again.
Yeah, I don't filter by free shipping when I shop because I know that I'm paying the shipping. It's just part of the product price.
It's a good one. Do you ever get really fed up answering the same questions over and over again? You seem to be so patient.
I used to.
Not really. And the justification, I think, is because our audience is always changing. Like there are quite a few of you that I'm sure have been here since day one, and there's a few people they're probably their first time ever watching this, and we'll have some people watch the replay that have never caught a live stream. The audience always changes, and the answers change from time to time. Yeah. You have to consider that Etsy changes, platforms change, social media companies come and go, or they change, or they reflect, or they're bought by somebody else. The answer isn't always the same, even if the questions are. For
everybody, for the parents out there, remember when you first had a kid and like the first few nights it was just like, oh God, this is awful. But then you just got used to it, and then it was just nothing. Like kid wakes you up in the middle of the night and it's like, oh well. Kid dumps a cup of juice on the floor and it's like, oh well. That's, I think that's how it started out. I at first I was like, man, I'm answering the same things. Now I kind of get excited when it's a question that I know the answer to because I've said the answer so many times. Every time I say a new answer, I'm able to craft it in a different way. Sometimes I'm able to build on it. And now I've got a lot of really cool metaphors that I can use. So my teaching has gotten more effective.
Right. That and most of the people here are artists of one type or another, whether you're a digital artist, you paint, you draw. How often do you come across the technique that you forgot about or a way of doing something that you haven't done, and being reminded of that skill inspires you to want to do the right thing with your art, or to do something different with your art, or redo something with your art, simply because you just forgot that technique and you're learning about it. It's the same thing with this. Somebody said it's nice to be reminded. That's exactly it. Like, there might be something that you're doing that you heard 2 years ago that we said that you just forgot. And it's good to be reminded of things every once in a while. Let's see. If we created items for a TV show, can we use it under the tags for people that search it? I'm conflicted since the TV show belongs to Warner Brothers and obviously not us. Okay, so
she's the one who had her armor on Lucifer.
I saw. If you have, I'm sure you have some sort of contact with somebody that got a hold of you or purchased it or whatever. I would seriously get a hold of them first, because again, Warner Brothers is one of those ones that you don't want to screw with.
Yeah, Harry Potter's good proof of that.
Yeah, so if you have any contact at all with anybody at the company, or even just the person that purchased it from you, I would reach out to them through Etsy, unless you have personal emails from them from another time. Reach out to them and make sure it's okay to use the logo. Otherwise, I would say probably not until then.
She means like under the tags.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Even if you're going to use imagery words, it doesn't really matter. You could also, they probably also have like
a media package.
Well, they probably also have a PR team or an HR team or somebody that you can reach out to within the company to make sure that, or even just their copyright department. They might have a copyright department you can get a hold of and let them know the situation.
Yeah, because how rad would it be for you to take like a screenshot from the episode where he's wearing the armor
and put it as a friggin' listing photo?
Or no, I meant like put it as your shop banner. That would be so cool.
Even if it's just an as seen on. Like, anything like that is great for publicity.
Yeah, I would that would be what I would have done like first thing. I would reach out immediately to them.
Still sat here waiting for PS5s to come available, darn scalpers. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about how much I had to pay for my 3090. It's the scalping's getting out of hand. If you buy stuff to sell that's fine. But if you're one of these people that's like buying 50 of the same thing to sell it for exorbitant prices, especially if it's a kid's toy, shame on you. Our shop favorites, good for your shop score.
Yeah, we actually covered that already a few minutes ago. Favorites don't help your shop score if they have been linked directly to your product. If you go on Facebook and post a link to a product and you say, everybody go favorite my product, it's not going to do anything. If a shopper types a few keywords into Etsy, stumbles across your listing organically and favorite it, Etsy says that that favorite does help your listing.
Is it true that putting day-by-day listing help your activity on Etsy's eyes, or is it better to upload everything at once? Oh, upload listings like one at a time on different days.
Etsy likes to see activity. Listing things frequently is one form of activity that Etsy likes, but it's not the only thing that you can do. A lot of people just go in and they change their shop announcement, or they post a new shop update, or they edit some outdated pictures. You're in Handmade Alpha Academy, though. And what's going to be more effective is building a solid marketing plan with a funnel where you're directing your own traffic rather than only relying on Etsy SEO. That's a great strategy if you just don't want to do social media and you don't want to work, on your business in that way, and you don't want to build like a funnel and an audience. If you just want people to find you organically and stumble across you, that's fine. But building collection launches, doing things very organized, having a marketing plan, being able to direct your own traffic, I find that to be a significantly more effective strategy. And that's why big businesses like Tiffany & Co., for example, do it. They do a collection launch, they promote their launch, and they drive traffic.
We kind of already answered this. Does editing a listing affect your search ranking? Every time we have to edit several listings at a time, our sales drop drastically. Yeah, it's because they're being replaced and Etsy's figuring out.
Well, it depends on what you're editing. If you're just editing thumbnails, no. If you're editing your description, no. If you're touching your tags, titles, or attributes, yes. Etsy's going to need to kind of re-index you in search.
Cat's being stupid. Sorry, guys. I add specific colors of my items that are not available in the attributes in my materials section, for example, teal, lavender, etc. Should I stop doing that since Etsy doesn't use it for searches?
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. There's no reason to, because red is not a material, and Etsy's not reading that at all. I would use it if they're good keywords and people are actually searching for them, you could use them in your tag section, but I wouldn't use them in your materials.
Okay. We are caught up, I believe.
All right. So where did we leave off? We left off if you run out of space in your tags, put extra keywords in your materials. That is a myth. Don't do that. There's no reason to do it. Next one is that new shops cannot succeed on Etsy because Etsy's market is too saturated. This is untrue. Every year when Handmade Alpha Academy opens, we have a couple students who will join who don't have shops yet, and we have seen significant results. What matters is having a plan. The shops that don't succeed, the new shops that don't succeed, are the ones who just start without knowing what they're doing, which is how most of us start, right? If you actually treat this like a business, you prioritize doing SEO, you make sure that your photos are fantastic, you work to build a social media following, you go where the people are on platforms like TikTok and Instagram, you drive traffic, you do it right, you start an email list, you build incentives for your fan base to follow you. You will succeed on Etsy as long as you have a product that you've researched that is in demand.
And you put in the work.
Yeah. So most of us, when we all started on Etsy, we didn't know what we were doing, right? I didn't. I made things and I thought of a funny title like, Dragon of Dreams key necklace. And nobody's searching for that. In tags, I would just guess. I'd be like dragon necklace, key, skeleton key. Absolutely god-awful tags that I just sat and thought of. One or two photos that I took with my phone and didn't edit at all, and they were terrible. That's how us started out, right? That's why new shops tend to struggle. Or if you create a product that just, I see this a lot with print-on-demand shops. a product that just isn't phenomenal. It isn't astounding. If I have to see another print-on-demand t-shirt shop with t-shirts that say "Live, Laugh, Love" on them, I'm gonna scream. You have to be original. You have to be original. You have to do a little bit of research. There are plenty of print-on-demand t-shirt shops that are insanely successful, but it's because they're innovative. They're not just doing what everybody else is doing. You have to be imaginative and try to bring something new to the marketplace. So no, it is not impossible for new shops to succeed. We see it happen all the time. But you have to be willing to, one, put in the work, two, plan things out before you just jump in. Don't just say, oh, wow, I could list products right now and maybe make money. No, think things through a little bit first. Get good photos up. Start building good listing quality scores right from the beginning.
Build yourself an off-site advertising platform. Get yourself social media, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, friggin' TikTok if you want to. Get yourself an email list going. There are so many ways to be successful on Etsy. And the thing is, the more of a saturated market you're in, that just means that you have to put in more work. It doesn't mean that you can't succeed. If you are selling Live, Laugh, Love t-shirts, you just need to make sure they're good, make sure that they're shipping in decent amounts of times, and they're not all just shipping from China and taking 60 to 70 days to get to your customers. And you're gonna probably have to rely on off-site advertising unless you're one of those shops that has like 5,000 listings, and then it's inevitable that you're going to sell them anyway. So it just depends on what type of market you're in. If you're selling truly handmade products, try to sell something that's original. If it's not original, understand that you're going to have to do stuff that's not on the platform to succeed.
Right. Or you're going to need to do some targeted actual paid, like Facebook ads and things like that. You're going to have to find your market. But Etsy is a fantastic platform when it comes to search ranking. I think that this whole getting that initial boost to build your listing quality scores, that's going to help keep the platform nice and level. Etsy's done a lot of declumping on the first page. That means that we're not seeing just the same shops listed over and over again on the first page of search. They're getting smarter. Their algorithm is getting smarter, and it's helping sellers who are a little bit newer to actually build some traction.
And it will continue to go that way. If you're one of the sellers that makes a lot of sales on very minimal work, your sales are probably going to start to trail down.
Right.
You're going to have to be one of those shops that stays on the forefront of the information that Etsy is putting out. Etsy releases what they do.
Right.
Etsy says that almost all of the changes that they make are public.
Right.
And the only ones that aren't public are the ones that they don't want you to know, because then you can just cheat the system.
Right. And, this is a lot of people asking, like, Handmade Alpha Academy, like, oh, you teach SEO? I'm like, yeah, I definitely teach SEO. We are great on SEO. But the other thing that I teach is that you shouldn't only rely on SEO. You've got SEO as one source of traffic, but then you've got your own funnel as another source of traffic. Yep. This is your social media following, your email list, all the people that you've collected. Because if for some reason, you're driving your kid to school and you blow a tire and you don't have any money to pay to, get your tire fixed, and it's a catastrophe, how great would it be to hop on, your mailing list real quick, send out a flash sale. Like, today only, we're doing a 50% flash sale. I never do these. So make sure that if you've been waiting, you hurry up because things might sell out. And you get your audience super duper excited and you promote that scarcity. You can make money when you need to make money and when you want to make money. You can direct traffic to your Etsy shop, which is a lot different than relying on people to find you organically. Sure, you can run a sale in your shop and people can find you organically, but if they're not looking for you, they're not gonna find you. Right. If you're sending that email directly to them and posting on your social media platforms and they've kind of been stalking you silently, just waiting for a reason to buy, and you present to them that wonderful reason, they're going to make that purchase. Same with if you create new products, sending out an email to everybody saying, wow, I just released my new line of Judge Judy mugs. And they get super stoked because maybe they love Judge Judy. They're going to be so excited to go buy your new thing.
Give your customers a reason to want to buy your products. Exactly. From the bottom up. Make sure everything is the highest quality that you can possibly do.
Exactly. So new shops absolutely can succeed on Etsy. You just have to put the work in. You have to make sure that you're treating this like a business and you're doing your research first.
Etsy has never been a make money quick kind of place. Yep. And it's always had the perception that it is.
Yeah.
And it drives me nuts. Even when she first started on it, I was super stoked. Like, yeah, we're going to make a bunch of money. And then it like took forever. And I was like, okay, maybe this isn't a good idea. And we almost quit several times.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
All right. So next one is that your most important tags should be entered first. Etsy does not care what order you enter your tags. Etsy is going to broad match them, which means they're going to mix and match them all together to make little keyword phrases. And they're going to exact match them, which means they're going to read tags on their own as, singular terms like skeleton key as one keyword combo and necklace. And then they'll read them together as skeleton key necklace. And it'll also read that as key necklace.
And skeleton necklace.
And skeleton necklace. And Etsy's smart. It doesn't matter what order you enter your tags. But when doing your title, you should put your most important keywords first in the title. We do know that. But make sure that you're picking terms that make sense. I really hate when I'm looking on Etsy and I see like, I don't know, maybe I'm shopping for him for Father's Day and I find a cool pocket knife. And
cool pocket knife.
I'm thinking of
like a cool pocket knife.
Thinking of dad things, a cool pocket knife. And
cool dad things.
The first thing I see in the title is cool gifts for dad. Oh, cool gifts for dad. Well, it looks like a pocket knife to me. I want to see what the product is first, and that's how you should be titling your product.
Yes, please. God, please.
The most important keywords should go first in your title, but they should also be the thing that tells you what the product is. Mm-hmm. And so you don't need to enter your most important tags first. And then our last one is that don't repeat keywords in multiple listings or you'll compete with yourself. Oh my God, you guys. If I have to hear this phrase one more time.
This one drives me nuts.
So Sharon asked us if we got sick of answering the same questions over and over again. No, I don't get sick of answering the same questions over and over again, except for this one. Oh, you can't use the same keywords in all your listings or you'll compete with yourself. That's not a thing. That doesn't exist. You can't compete with yourself. You cannot. If that were the case, then you could not rank more than once for a single search. So if in my shop, all I sell are different Judge Judy mugs, I'm going to want to put Judge Judy mugs in all of my tags and titles, right? Because that's all I sell. Maybe they're all different colors and all different Judge Judy faces. If that's all I sell, I want to be found and search for Judge Judy mugs. And the thing is, if you could compete with yourself, that would mean that your listings would only show up in one search query one time. That's not true. You can show up multiple times in a single search query.
How dare I show up on page 2? I'm gonna go over to page 2, kick my own ass. That's not how it works.
Be on page 1. I want to be on page 2. I want to be on page 3. I want that shopper to just continuously see me. I want to follow them and stalk them throughout their shopping journey. I want them to see my listings like every 5 minutes. I always want to be there. There's no such thing as competing with yourself. It's not a thing. It doesn't exist. I can't wrap my head around what people think is happening. You can disprove it. You can do a search query right now for something and find multiple listings from the same shop if you browse through the pages. It's not a thing. So wipe that from your memory. It's the only question that drives me bonkers because I don't understand it. I don't understand where it came from. I don't know why people still talk about it. I don't know why coaches still say it. It doesn't make sense. You cannot compete with yourself. There's no possible way. And then I'm going to throw in my 11th Etsy myth, my little snarky one before we get into questions. Please. Guys, go ahead and start getting your questions in the chat. They don't need to be about the topics that we've talked about. They can be about Etsy, SEO. They can be about Handmade Alpha Academy if you're interested in enrolling when it opens on Monday.
If there's anything else you've heard that might be a myth that you want us to clear up.
Yeah. If you've heard any myths floating around, if you need us to debunk something, let us know. But the very last thing is that you can't make a living on Etsy alone. And this is absolutely not true because we have so many sellers within Handmade Alpha Academy who do just that. We have sellers who have quit their day jobs.
Yep.
We have sellers we have one seller who does dog food. She has a dog food shop and she was able to open a storefront in Hawaii. We have sellers who have their products freaking used in the filming of Lucifer. We have so many successful students. And when people are just like, yeah, Etsy, it's not the place. It's not, nobody is successful on Etsy anymore.
And it's just not true. And the thing is like, we even have some students that have made it so like you won't even see them in our live streams anymore because they're so busy and have made so much money that they literally can't afford to do anything else.
Yeah.
We have sellers that make 30 grand, 40 grand, 50 grand. We have sellers that make over 100 grand a year. And I'm not saying that everyone's capable of doing that. There is not necessarily a glass ceiling, but there is a ceiling on some businesses that you can do working by yourself. A lot of businesses, until you get to a point where you're comfortable hiring or working with manufacturing, there is a ceiling. But that ceiling is usually high enough for people to be able to live if they live normally. That's not assuming you've got $50,000 a year in medical expenses. But if you're living a normal life, most industries can support a lifestyle.
Making more money than a damn day job. That is to me success. If you can make more money than what you would working for somebody else, even if you've got to do more hours, but you pick when the hours are. I mean, I work significantly more hours working for myself than I ever did working for a day job, but I can take a day off when I want to. Like yesterday, I was trying to work on Handmade Alpha Academy and Taylor wanted to go out and swim in her pool. And I'm just like, okay, you know what? I can set my work aside. I can stay up late and do what I need to do. So I can let her go out and swim. If I was working at a day job, I couldn't just take off work and go take my kid outside. They don't care about me. So that to me is success. It's just about making sure that, for one, you're not setting the bar too high. It does take time and it takes a lot of work. And I can tell the sellers who are willing to put in the work and the ones who are just like, I just want to make some money here and there. That's fine. You can absolutely make it work for you though. And Etsy doesn't have to be your only traffic source. You can have Etsy. You can have your own website. You can use Etsy as a funnel to get people like onto an email list where they can later shop on a website. There are so many things that you can do to build success. You could do Etsy. You could do, if you want like additional revenue, you can have multiple income streams. You could do Amazon affiliate links. Maybe you have, specific type. Maybe you sell patterns, you sell, cross stitch patterns, but then you've got Amazon affiliate links available for like the hoops that you recommend and things like that. There's so much that you can do, guys. I just hate when people say that you can't make a living on Etsy because
it's a flat out lie.
We do. We help. We help sellers do it all the dang time. So.
All the dang
time. See me skipping carefully around the monetization. Like,
oh, I said a dirty word earlier. You said one that's not a dirty word, but it is an 18+ word. Okay, I'll reach out again. Initially, the costuming department person told me that I was allowed to share on social media once the episode aired. Here's the thing. The costume department person isn't the person in charge of copyright. They're not the lawyer. So it's one of those things that like, you could probably take that if you had that email and show it to Etsy, like once the copyright strike happened, but it's just a battle you don't want to have,
Find the legal team and show them that. Show them the thing from the costume department.
Just cover all your bases. It's not worth potentially a lawsuit or something like that over, companies get desperate. You never know, they might have a lawsuit that they're trying to make money back from.
Sharon, I love this one.
I did a video of a tiara for Facebook and used Dance of a Sugar Plum Fairy from that name, the Nutcracker. And Warner Bros. Asked Facebook to mute my video because they own the rights to the music.
Sharon?
Music is a whole different thing.
We normally make around you guys probably didn't know this, we normally make around $50 every episode of the Friday Bean because our channel's monetized and ad revenue. One time I hummed not even 30 seconds of Let It Go from Frozen, and Facebook took all of my, or not Facebook, YouTube took all of my ad revenue for that video and because they didn't.
No, YouTube didn't take it. The company took it.
Yeah.
They have YouTube has AI that listens through things as they stream and as they play, as they're rendered and whatnot, that will listen for copyright music, especially big baller like Disney and stuff like that, copyright. And if it sees it, it just immediately takes it. Like, if there's not even a person behind it, it just does it.
If you guys want free music, we recommend bensound.com.
Ben Sound.
It's free. You just have to credit him.
Yup. Question: how can I set up a coupon code? This one's a bit of a long one.
Okay.
Meets these criteria: 30% off, only for specific listings, never expires, and also has to meet a 20 quantity. I tried Etsy on sale, and it doesn't allow for this level of specificity.
I don't think you can.
I don't think there's any, unless somebody knows of a tool. That's a pretty advanced level of sale. That's like something you'd have to program on your own website.
Yeah, I don't think that that's possible, unfortunately. I wish it was. I always wanted to do like buy one, get one, or buy one, get one 50% off sales, and there's no way to do it.
It drives me nuts that that's not available on Etsy. Like, why?
Yeah. It sucks.
Etsy does things that are questionable sometimes, and this is one of them. Like, they just do not have the site set up for coupons properly.
Yeah,
it drives me friggin' crazy.
More sale options, just more ways to do sales. I want buy one get one. I want
sales and coupons and like repeat buyer coupons.
Yeah.
Like, you make a purchase, and like how a lot of websites you'll make a purchase and it'll immediately give you like 10% off your next sale.
You can do that.
I know, but through Etsy and not you.
No, I'm saying you can do that. It'll
send
you? Yeah, they'll send a coupon, but who knows if the person will use it.
Right. Or one of those pop-ups.
Yeah, or a pop-up.
Like where when you buy something, it has a pop-up like, oh, you can get this 20% off if you do it now, and then you click it and it purchases it. Some people don't like that. I think it's neat.
I love that. I do that for Vistaprint. I always order less business cards than I know that I need on Vistaprint because I know
they're gonna offer it to you at like half price.
Yeah, that little font will pop up and it'll say, "Quick, for the next 30 minutes, you can get double the business cards for 50% off." I'm like, hell yeah, double the business cards for 50% off.
Pro tip.
Pro tips.
So considering a collection launch, should we preload the listing allowing 60 to 90 days to index, or look at the launch as a good kickoff to the indexing period?
Look at the launch as a good kickoff to the indexing period.
Your whole computer just froze.
Oh, are we...
Well, you won't know because your whole computer just froze.
Oh, no. Let me see if we're still live.
Does this one over here work? Okay, this one over here works. Give me a sec, guys. We'll get it all figured out.
You can make breakfast. Oh no.
I already told her to. That's fine. I'm gonna have to
Oh, it's working.
Yes, I know it's working, but I have to kill Google Chrome.
Oh.
Oh, is it back? It's back. Yay. Okay. Holy crap.
Everything
Except now. This doesn't even make any sense. There we go.
All right.
Sorry about that. Her computer likes to freeze for like a solid 30 seconds and think we're going to have to do stuff.
Okay. Back on track here. But yeah, you can't like put your listings in draft and be indexed. They are not live until they're live. So you've just got to, kind of put, but that's great. If you're doing a collection launch, assuming that you've got like a social media following, you've hyped up your launch, you've got people excited for it, and then you launch your products. I think that is a fantastic way to start building a listing quality score, because if you're hyping up your launch and people are buying on the first day that products are listed, whew, Etsy loves that. They love to see that you listed brand new products and people came right over to buy them. That's a fantastic way to start immediately building good listing quality scores and start building your rank. And getting good reviews for those purchases. My SSAR swipe file strategy, the 5-star customer service review strategy, that's for free down below if you click see more. I know that most of you already have it, but getting 5-star reviews also helps your search ranking. And this is like a cool little totally Etsy legal way to do that.
A lot of people saying that we weren't frozen. No, we have two separate computers. One actually streams, and the other one is the one that we use. That way, we're not taking up too much.
You guys can always see behind like the screen when we have something go wrong and we think that we're not live and we're like, oh no, are we live? Are we?
Yeah, because if this computer freezes, we can't tell. So we usually just stop what we're doing.
You guys get to see us panic.
It's better for us to just stop, because then if we have to repeat ourselves, we won't be as enthusiastic the second time around. Hi guys, I respect your opinion, and I was wondering how you feel about people who sell animal parts on Etsy. I saw some parrot feet and it traumatized me as a parrot rescuer and trainer.
I would say that for one, there are a lot of animal parts that you can't sell on Etsy. A lot of you guys don't know this. I used to restore vintage taxidermy. I used to take those nightmare taxidermy pieces that you saw from like the 50s and 60s before people knew how to.
And they're just awful.
And they're awful. I used to restore those. I've got a lot of taxidermy restoration in our house. We love animals. We are not for like farming of animals. We're
absolutely not.
But I am into kind of the oddities like niche, and I know quite a bit about what is and isn't allowed. Parrot feet, that's really confusing to me because I don't believe that you're allowed to sell parrot parts at all. It's really going to depend on what country they're selling from. And I would say I don't think that that's legal. I know that there are some animal parts that are completely legal to sell, and then there are others that aren't. You can't, for example, there are a lot of bird feathers that you can't sell.
Yep.
Even if you find them and they fell off of a bird, you can't sell owl feathers in the United States, for example, because they're raptors. You cannot sell any raptor parts. You cannot sell any bird parts that are protected under the Migratory Bird Act, which means most, like feathers and things that you find in your backyard, you technically aren't even allowed to keep them. But I know a lot of people do. So for those who are worried...
It says they source them from villagers, and I worry they get them from people killing them. Yeah, they probably do, to be honest with you, but there's no real way to prove that.
You see that with bats a lot. There are a lot of caves right now that are completely running dry of their native bat species in remote countries because the people there are basically capturing all the bats and freeze drying them for taxidermy crafts.
Yeah, because they realize that it's a way that they can make money with very, very little effort.
Exactly. That's why you see a lot of petrified bats for sale right now. There are places where you can get ethically sourced bats, but most of the time when you see cheap taxidermy and things like that...
It's because they got it from dirty means.
Exactly. Bats, ducklings, chicks... those are usually things that you wouldn't, if you're like into those things, you don't want to buy them cheap on Etsy. You want to make sure that the person that you're purchasing from is ethically sourcing their materials.
Yes.
So
that goes with any kind of industry. You should always be sourcing ethically.
Exactly.
No animal labor, no slave labor, no killing involved.
Yeah, that's one of the things we were talking about, doing a Friday bean coffee for you guys, where you can actually buy our coffee bean blend.
I am big on ethically sourced foods. I'm really big on, like, a lot of people don't know this, but vanilla extract and vanilla beans. That is a big thing, because most of the companies that you buy at most grocery stores are not ethically sourced. They use slave labor or animal labor or something like that.
Yeah.
So always check into things if you're confused. If you know it comes from a native country, make sure it's ethically sourced, or do your best to find out that it is.
Yeah.
Definitely need your funnel to get sales and prove to Etsy you are a trustworthy seller with sales, and get good reviews for them to promote you. Funnels are where it's at. Dog.
Building those fantastic listing quality scores and customer and market experience scores.
If it's something that any industry has to do, it's probably something that you have to do. Funnels are big. Looking for questions. Not competitive with yourself, but it's like repeat marketing. Nah. Do you guys split payments for HA? We do 6 monthly payments or 1 upfront payment.
Yeah, we've got a 6-month payment plan.
Can we have a class on how to optimize on just competing with ourselves? I'm all about that.
just racing yourself.
Yeah, just get one of those speed bags that you box and put your face within hitting distance of it and hit it and let it come back and hit you. Just over and over again. Just beat the crap out of yourself.
And do that until the phrase "compete with yourself" is no longer in your memory.
Or you just forget how to say it. How do you make the image of yourself like in the cup use on the ads? I'm trying to get better at my ads and videos and would love to be able to do this. Thank you. Layering.
It's a lot of things.
It's a technique.
You got to find an image. You got to remove the background from
not our
image. I've got if you go to my iPicky playlist, my photo editing playlist on my channel, way back when I did a video called How to Create Jaw-Dropping Marketing. That'll kind of teach you a little bit on how to do complex layers and things like that using iPicky. I do it all for free using iPicky. I don't own Photoshop, but it does take a lot of time and a lot of practice. I have a lesson in Handmade Alpha Academy, or a bonus called Photo Clipper, where I go into the specifics of that. But there are some videos on my channel. I would check out the jaw-dropping marketing video from like 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm. I found that no one has a way to help one-of-a-kind items in shops. I don't find that to be true.
Yeah. In fact, I just did a one-of-a-kind video not that long ago that talked about all the things that one-of-a-kind sellers can do.
Marla.
And so check Marla and Starla. So check it out. I think that it's called Does Etsy Hate One-of-a-Kind Sellers? One-of-a-kind sellers are definitely at a disadvantage, but there are things that you can do. So I would check that video out. It's a short one. It's not an hour-long Friday Bean.
What sale percentage do you think helps bring more sales? I've been told 25% and under is completely pointless. I doubt this, but does it help running a sale help your views? There is a low bar.
15%. I think what book is it? Priceology?
Yeah, I think you've talked about that before.
Priceology, I believe. I can't even remember the author. I'm usually pretty. Is it over there? Priceology, Martin Lindstrom. I can't, and that might not even be the book, but 15% is where I read it somewhere, that anything under 15%, people tend to not notice unless the item is very expensive. If you're selling, a piece of furniture, obviously 15% is going to be a decent amount.
Think about the amount that you're actually taking off from the item. Don't necessarily think about the percentage itself. That's the big thing with it. Like, I think in any industry, 5%, like I've seen 5%, it's offensive. Don't even offer a discount if you're going to do 5%. But like with expensive things, really expensive stuff, 10% to me is a big deal. Just look at the amount of money you're actually taking off. Like if you're selling a $100 item, 10% is $10. That doesn't really feel like a whole lot of money. 15%, $15. That feels a lot more than a solid number like 10 does. 25% would feel great on a $100 item. And the more expensive it is, I think the more you can get away with doing a lower discount. Because like 5% off of a $100 item versus 5% off of a $1,000 item is a significant difference between the two.
Yeah, when Mark was in the military, one of the things that, they always tell you is make sure that you ask for your military discount. And we did that when we were traveling to Ohio.
Oh my God.
He was in uniform because he had to wear his uniform while we were going. He was in uniform, and we just stopped to grab lunch real quick at a diner, and the bill was only like $30, but he asked for a military discount, and they're like, yeah, we can give you 5%.
Like, don't even offer it at that point. It's offensive.
Like
I don't. That's the thing. I don't even care if places don't offer a military discount. You're not obligated to do so. Like in any way, and no veteran and no good veteran will say that you're obligated to give a military discount. But if you're going to do it, at least make it worth my time to ask.
Right.
Like I already feel like a jerk asking for it. I still do.
But
anyway,
15% is the percentage that most people say is the standard if you're selling, a product that I'm assuming is under like $100.
Is putting your shop in vacation mode a bad thing?
I've got a video on that as well. So it's not about putting your shop on vacation mode. It is about having items dormant. Putting your shop on vacation mode would be the same as those items being deactivated. Basically, in order to maintain a listing quality score, people have to engage with that listing. They need to be able to click on it. They need to be able to favorite it. They need to be able to find it in search. They need to be able to buy it. They need to be able to leave reviews for it. When you are on vacation mode, the only thing that they could do is leave a review. They can't interact with your listings. They can't favorite them. They can't make purchases. They can't find them organically in search. And the longer that you are keeping those listings down, the longer that those listings aren't available, the more time that people aren't able to engage, and you start to lose your listing quality score. You start to drop in search. So if you go on vacation mode for a month, Yeah, that's a month that people weren't able to engage, but it wouldn't be any different than if you took one listing and deactivated it for a month. That listing would have just as much trouble. If you were to go on vacation mode for a day, it wouldn't have any effect probably at all, because a day isn't really long enough for, it's not going to matter if people don't interact with you for a day. So does vacation mode hurt your shop? Yeah, kind of. But it's not something that's permanent. You just have to, if you're coming back from vacation mode, start showing Etsy that you're active. Add some new products, run a sale, post on social media, and try to get people into your store being active so that Etsy can start, recognizing that you're back, basically. I've got a full video on this that I created last year, though. I think it's called Does Vacation Mode Hurt My Shop? So feel free to watch that. It's another short one.
I'm an HA and my business is my income now.
Samantha does stamped keychains and things. So it's not like she's selling, $6,000 coffee tables. Like she makes a fantastic living doing something very tangible with her hands. And I think that that's amazing.
Hey, I love the videos, by the way. Thank you. I make pom-pom earrings and the product isn't really in demand right now. So how do I make or find products that are in demand, but still make the things I like? Excuse me, sorry.
Is there any way that you could make your current pom-pom earrings trendy? For example, it's Pride Month, You
can make some Pride pom-poms.
Yeah.
Rainbow pom-poms.
Or just use tags that, relate back to that. What holidays are coming up? We've got summer. You could do some maybe little boho style pom-pom earrings. Then we're going to have fall. You could do some fall color pom-pom earrings. We've got Christmas coming up. You could do winter theme pom-pom earrings if you want to keep doing those. But if you're looking for something new to do, I would recommend going to erank.com, going to the reports tab and checking out the trend reports. Check out the, what was hot yesterday, the daily trend report. That's going to tell you the most searched items on Etsy yesterday. And then look at the most searched items last month on Etsy to see what is super trendy. And make sure that you look in your niche, in particular. Look in the jewelry niche and see what's trending and see what you can do there.
Snow Raven, did she? Oh, okay. Are there videos in HA or is it all paper based? It's mostly videos.
It's all videos.
It's videos with worksheets to help you out.
Yeah, you get some things that you can print out, you can make a binder, or you can, write it on your own notebook paper. But yeah, it's all video content.
It's just like watching a normal instructional video on YouTube. It's in depth, it's to the point, there's no banter.
It's step by step.
Step by step, direct. Here's this, download this, print it out, this, that, and the other. It's right. It's to the point.
I used to be a preschool teacher, so I treat it the same as if I was building a curriculum. I know people think preschool, what? You don't do a curriculum in preschool? Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do. Full lesson plans and everything. And I use that structure when building it.
And for those of you who are about to sign up and those of you who are currently in HAA, we will be fully re-recording the course to be finished by the end of this year, hopefully.
Yeah.
The videos are still applicable, but
we just want to improve the audio.
Yeah, we did it when we were both still kind of amateurs at what we were doing. And now I'm basically an audio professional and I edit all the videos and we have equipment to put things up at 4K. I think they're currently at 720p. I think we actually output them at 480p. So we just want to make them higher quality. The content itself is still fine. We're 2 years in Etsy and now we make more than we ever did working our full-time day jobs in the film industry.
Awesome.
There you go. Target market has always been hard for me. I can help others, but not myself. Can you help me with some ideas for soft soldered gemstone jewelry? Not off the top of our head.
I was going to say, we can't be the knowers of everybody's target market, unfortunately. That's something that you need to deep dive into. My suggestion would be to go and look at who's purchased your jewelry in the past. Go to their profiles on Etsy, see if they've got profile photos, see if they have any of their profile filled out, and see what they've favorited in the past. You can really figure out who your buyers are and, focus on what you see the majority of. If you notice that the majority are women, write that down. If you notice that the majority are a little older, maybe you've got we'll say 45 to 60 is your you kind of observe and you can see that they look like they're in that age range. Write that down. And it doesn't mean that you're alienating the people who don't fall into that target market. For example, I'm sure that when I bought, hold up your mug. No. When I bought that mug for Mark, I'm sure he was not the seller's target audience.
Nope. I am for sure.
But it didn't alienate them. You're not alienating somebody by defining who your target audience is. Just, you got to define them.
Please give us some Vistaprint tips. I gave you kind of the only one that we really could. Pay attention to the emails that they send out. They send out pretty decent coupons, and always check if you buy cards and things like that. They usually include a coupon in there too. That's usually pretty good. They do sales pretty often.
Make sure that you have the Honey browser extension as well.
Yeah, because they've always got coupons going.
Yeah, Honey will scan for every coupon out there and apply it to your Vistaprint purchase.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I do. Or I check Retail Me Not. If Honey isn't finding, anything every once in a while, I'll double check Retail Me Not.
How to be successful on Etsy. A lot of different ways.
Whew. Maybe
gotta be less broad with your question.
Maybe check out my channel.
Sell things.
There's lots of videos on my channel. I would just dive into a topic and start there.
Mm-hmm. Can you do the link for climbing the mountain again? I can't find it.
It's down below.
It's down below in the description for the video.
Yeah, there's like a little red police siren next to it.
Yeah, there might if you're on mobile, there might be a little thing you have to tap to actually get it to open the description.
You got to do that on desktop too. You got to click read.
They've made it a pain in the butt.
Read more or show more or something like that.
Thanks, guys. I reported it, but it's still up. Last I checked, it must be a loophole, or they just haven't gotten into it yet.
The birds.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
If you do ethically sourced bean, can you help us find a way to get around palm oil?
Ooh, I'm not the person to ask about that. I know that haven't you seen all the videos of the poor little orangutans that are all burned up from how they're doing the palm oil and all that? It's bad.
I'm just the kind of person that says if there's no way to ethically source it, you just do something else.
Do without it.
Find another product that you can use.
Yeah.
Ethically sourced is the only way to go. Destroying habitats or ruining lives is not worth
whatever it is.
It's not worth anything. It's destroying a habitat. Life lives on, and we want to make sure that it can. So I saw a clever way to drive repeat sales on a custom listing. Add variation options called Custom Sarah or Custom Heather and price each according to your rate versus making separate custom listings.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a building a listing quality score for a custom listing.
Yeah, that's
actually not a bad idea. I don't know if that's cheating the system in some way, so just be careful, keep an eye out on the rules, but yeah. Would you consider doing an up-to-date video on how to create marketing like Starla in a teacup? Maybe.
Here's the thing. That stuff is very hard. And it's not necessarily I teach you how to do it and you go do it. It's I teach you how to do it and you spend years practicing it until you get as good as I am at it. It's not a quick thing that you learn really quick.
Yeah, she's been editing pictures for friggin' ever, trying to get better at it.
You can watch I turned myself into a pizza video.
Mm-hmm.
I posted.
That one was recent.
Yeah, that was recent. I just did that one. I turned myself into a pizza using iPicky.com. I just found a stock pizza and put my face in it.
Ouch.
And you can kind of see exactly how I did that. That's a harder one though. Starla in a teacup is a more complex layering thing because I have to cut out myself, the teacup. My hand is a separate layer that goes over the teacup. Then I have to find a vector of a shadow to put under my hand so that it looks three-dimensional. It's a whole big thing.
It's a process. Don't just try to do it with like your listings. Like if you've got free time and you are like out of work to do, just play around with it.
Yeah.
Get yourself an idea and try to do it.
I mean, I could totally do a video like that. I don't know how useful it would be to everybody. Feel free to let me know.
I believe you said in a video at some point that you recommend that we have to be prepared for HA as far as a binder and such. Can you go over that one more time, or do you say when we get into HA?
Oh, yeah. No, you don't have to have one. That's what I recommend having. I like going, because right now we're going to be able to see all the new school supplies and stuff starting.
Yeah, being organized helps.
I recommend You don't even have to have it, but I recommend a binder, a hole punch or sleeve protectors if you prefer to, as long as you can get the pages into the binder. And if you've got a printer, that's really useful if you want to print out your worksheets. But you don't have to do that. We've got plenty of students who just bought a notebook and wrote everything out on their own. The thing about what you're basically going to be building is a alpha, like your marketing binder that you can reflect back on. So if you don't want to go back to the course to remember a certain part, which you totally can, you're in for life. You can go back and listen to it as many times as you want. But you'll also have your binder there that you can reflect back on, especially when it comes to building like the marketing timeline and knowing when to market, when to post this, when to post that, when to start teasing a product launch, when to launch, when to start promoting singular products from your launch, things like that. It's useful to be able to flip back out. Handmade Alpha Academy students in the chat, feel free to let me know how you use your alpha journals that you build.
It's also good for, especially if you're like our target audience is, what did we found out the other day looking at our demographics? It's like 25 to 45, I think, is our main demographic. That's like 55% of our audience, and then the rest is like 45 plus. A lot of you have been out of school for a while and not used to being organized to education and stuff like that. So having a binder and getting yourself reused to organizing, it can be a good way to just remind yourself how to do that, which can help reflect back onto your business when it comes to a point where you're so busy that like organization becomes a problem. Because it does get to a point where organization can become a problem.
It's super fun too.
Yes.
I have so much more. Like my desk is covered in colored pens and notebooks and things, because I only write in fun colored pens. I love going school supply shopping. I get all the Lisa Frank notebooks and all that crazy stuff just because it makes note taking more fun. Anytime I read a business book or a psychology book or a marketing book, I take notes every time. So
that's pretty much all the questions. Yeah.
All right.
I think we're caught up. Any last minute questions we got in here? YB Normal said that she's busy moving into her new house today, thanks to HA. Course sells itself, y'all.
Awesome. Let's see.
That's it. There are no more questions.
All right, guys. Well, go ahead if you've got any more last minute ones. Feel free to get those into the chat. If you're curious about Handmade Alpha Academy, if you have any questions about it, feel free to get those in the chat. Mm-hmm. It will be opening on Monday. There's a waiting list down below. Make sure that you sign up for that. Signing up doesn't obligate you to buy, but it does ensure that you get the discount. You get the notification when we open. We usually open doors at 8 a.m. Eastern time. And once you enroll, you can get started the second that you enroll. The good thing about enrolling during our summer class is if you're to dedicate 1 hour a day to working on Handmade Alpha Academy, most of our students can get at least enough of the course done to be fully prepared for the holiday season, or just to be able to have their first big blowout holiday sale. And I know you guys see it, especially if you've been around for a while. You see our Handmade Alpha Academy students in the group posting like, oh, we just had a 6-figure Black Friday. And then everybody else is like, how did you do it? So this is really the best time to join. We do open again December 1st. But that's more of like our New Year's resolution opening, because you won't be able to apply anything in time for like any of that big Christmas rush. June enrollment is my favorite enrollment time, because this is the time when you can actually like get ready for what will be a big holiday season.
And it's a less hectic time of year, like signing up for AHA right before Christmas when you're going to be up like burned into stuff.
Most people can't even start till January.
No, exactly. And this gives you time to actually get like into the material.
Yeah.
Dulce asked, does shop favorites help your shop score on Etsy? We answered this one earlier, but not really.
No, we've answered your question twice. Have you been listening?
Where have you been?
Where have you been? No, only if they find you organically in search. If you link your product on Facebook and all your friends go and favorite it, it's not going to help. If somebody does a keyword query and they find you organically in search and favorite your product, then it will have a little bit of a positive effect, but it's not going to be something huge. The best way for you to build a good listing quality score is to get sales and reviews of a product.
Is there an email to ask a bunch of questions about HAA? Yes. Starla at handmadealphaacademy.com.
Yeah.
Very good chance that it'll actually be me answering your questions, but...
And a lot of the questions, we have the biggest enrollment page ever. He hates it.
I friggin' hate it. Yeah, if you're signing up for HAA and you get to the page to sign up for it and you don't see the sale thing, just keep scrolling for like 45 solid minutes until you get to the bottom. I friggin' hate it. Nobody reads it.
I try to answer all the questions that you guys have on the page. If you guys hate it, maybe I'll change it this year. Let me know after HAA closes this year, and if you hate it at the page, I'll try to condense it.
It makes sense because it answers literally like almost any question, and it saves us the trouble because we'll usually have somewhere between like 75 and 120 signups, which means that there's probably like 1,000 or 2,000 people that actually come and look at the page, and that saves me from having to answer like 1,500 emails.
Yeah. So, but if you want to ask us before it opens, if you really need to know, then feel free to email me, and I'll make my reply.
Or maybe we'll just make like the VIP sales page, the discount sales page. We'll make that one short.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely make sure you're on the email list though, because if you don't, you're gonna end up. We have had a couple of times people pay full price for the course, and that if you want to pay double, fine.
Yeah, totally, man.
I'm cool with it. I got lots of guitars I want to get. Yep. So I started HAA last June, and I was more than prepared for the holiday season. Branding was done, mailing list was ready, and target customer was stalked.
I love that.
Yeah, Starla misspoke on that one, Wes. 6-figure Black Friday. She meant to say 5-figure Black Friday. Ain't nobody making $100,000 in a day.
Oh no, yeah, no.
5-figure Black Fridays.
We totally have had people make
6-figure years.
6-figure years. 5-figure Black Friday. I think Paula Haas was.
She's got like the record, right? It's like 20 something, I thought.
10,000. 10,000 on Black Friday, I think it was. Paula Haas at Clean and Dirty Natural Skincare is a force to be reckoned with. She messaged me about Handmade Alpha Academy and was like, "Hey, I really want to join your course, but I already have good sales. I just want to make 6 figures." And I was like, "Well, yeah. Do you have a marketing strategy? Do you have this? Do you have that? Okay. Well, totally join it. There might be stuff you already know because it looks like you're already doing really well." And then she joined and she had like this insane year. That first year she made like $6,000 on Black Friday. And I think it was the year after that she made 10. And she just keeps making more and more every year.
That's why she's not
here.
She's friggin' busy.
She's got employees. Her marketing is so good.
She's got herself to a point where it's is she even on Etsy anymore? Yeah. Is she? Okay.
She has Etsy and a website. So
I figured, but
she is.
She's making that bank.
Clean and Dirty Natural Skincare. It's CLN
ampersand DRTY.
DRTY. Find her on social media, because when it comes to like picture perfect social media marketing, Paula is probably my favorite. I see her ads and I think that she's like a big like Ulta skincare company.
In order to get to the HAA sales page, you have to use the same code during the Nintendo game contract. Yeah, the Konami code, up, down, left, right, BA, start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the secret.
That's how you get to the bottom of the page. You can't actually ever reach the true bottom of the page.
It's the secret Mortal Kombat combo that you gotta punch in.
You only get 5 seconds to do it. Is there a difference between search, find item, favorite, and a customer who has favorited your shop and sees a new item thingy that Etsy sends them, then favorites the item? I mean, those are all different types of...
Okay. If someone finds your listing organically in search, they have typed in some words, they find your product and they favorite it. Etsy tells us that that's a good sign. If they get linked to your product from an external source, it really doesn't do anything if they favorite it. I don't know if Etsy sends them a customer who's favorited your shop and sees a new item that Etsy sends them, then favorites the item. I'm not sure. I don't know. Etsy doesn't tell us that, unfortunately. It's not going to hurt, but I don't know if it's going to help. And keep in mind, people liking your products, that's like the lowest level of things that can help your listing quality score. Purchases and positive reviews are the best things that help your listing quality score.
Yeah, Mo said, "Can I come back?" And they got busy after signing up. You have lifetime access. We're not. Well, I hate saying lifetime access because, like, if we bite the bullet for some reason and the website goes down, obviously you won't have access anymore. But until like we're incapable of running the website, you'll have access. So you can come back if you don't know what your username is. If you don't know what email address you signed up with, contact me. I don't want to say my support email here, so. Just Starla at handmadealphaacademy.com. I'll get back to you as soon as I can and we'll get you figured out.
Go to the contact page on handmadealphaacademy.com that you have access to, and our private emails are there as well.
Yes.
But yeah, you can complete it anytime. We had an alpha that enrolled in like 2019, and she just now like got started because life got in the way. And she's
happens. A lot of our sellers will get like halfway through the course and then their business is too busy for them to actually like
finish it.
When you say for life, you mean for the life of the program. Yeah, I should just put that in like the terms of use so nobody sues us when I'm like 95 years old.
You know what's crazy is we have a plan for if one of us dies. Like we have actually made plans in the event that like I die, what he's to do. If he dies, what I'm to do. We have thought that part ahead. We have not thought ahead to if we were to both die. But we're both very healthy and we don't leave the house. So I think that we're good for a while. I'm not even 30 yet.
I'm trying to work out the UK start time for your webinar using a converter you linked to, but it's saying San Fran PTD, which isn't the 2 time zones you've given. Can you please help?
It'll be the exact same time that the Friday Bean airs.
Yes.
Whatever time you normally watch the Friday Bean is the time that the webinar will be.
Yes.
So whatever
just
time
on the day that the webinar is.
Yes, it'll be a Saturday. Next Saturday, not tomorrow, but next Saturday.
Wes said, I'm only in the middle of Module 4 and I can hardly find time to sleep, let alone sit much. Yep.
I was going to say, Wes just won Alpha of the Year and he's only on Module 4. And Wes, you joined last December, right? So, yeah. We've got so many alphas who say that. They only get to apply like a small percentage of the course and then they get so busy that they can't even get it finished because their shop blows up.
Oh, yeah. I get in-person sales using Square that's linked to my Etsy. Does this help my ranking?
If it's selling from your listings through Etsy, I believe that it does, actually. I think Pam told me that. I think Pam looked into it. I believe that it does. I'm speaking based on what might be a fever dream. Your best bet would be to contact Etsy and ask. But I believe that if it subtracts from a listing, like the quantity from that listing, that it counts as a sale. So I believe that it should.
Do you have a video on how to respond to a negative or low star review or suggestions? Context is going to matter there.
Yeah.
Why you got the review.
I do have a video on how to prevent bad reviews. Usually when you get a negative review, what I recommend doing is if you don't know what the problem is, message the person directly and say, hey, thanks for your honest review. I'm always eager to improve my shop. I'm so sorry you had this experience. Would you mind sharing with me what your negative experience was so I can make sure that I fix it? And is there any way that I could improve this experience for you? Maybe if their thing arrived broken or something, you replace it for them. And then after you've resolved the issue, you could ask them politely if they would be willing to update their review. I know how icky it is to ask to update a review, but these things do negatively affect our shops.
Yes, they do.
And Etsy tells us that we can. They say that we can, try to resolve the situation and see if the review will be updated.
And if it's like a genuine bad review, you messed something up, sometimes we screw up and you might have to bite the bullet on it.
Yeah, and one bad review isn't going to...
It's not going to kill you. If it's like your first sale, it might take you some time to bounce back.
Yeah.
Just give Bubbers your passwords as your backup plan if you both kick it.
We tried to do a photo shoot for HAA with Bubbers, and I couldn't hardly use any of the photos because he's just like... his mouth is wide open and he is screaming at me in all of the photos. So.
He's a vocal cat. He doesn't do it much here, but like he talks nonstop. I've been in alpha since the beginning. I've watched all the videos and just now starting to rewatch and apply the information to my shop now.
Awesome. Cool beans.
All right. I think that's going to do it.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. There are freebies down below, my 2021 marketing calendars. I recommend you get those now if you haven't.
Yes.
Because like I said, August, September, and then October and November, those are the seasons when we're going to start kind of seeing traffic return to Etsy. And my marketing calendars are going to teach you holidays to optimize for, key marketing dates when it's a good idea to start planning new collections, getting products out, little tips from me. Those are free down below to download. There is also my SSAR swipe file series. That's my 5-star customer service marketing strategy. Those are going to help you to get more 5-star reviews. They're going to help you to prevent bad reviews, and they're going to help your search ranking because, like I said, positive reviews are going to help your listing quality scores, which is going to rank you higher in search. So that's all part of SEO, right? We want to rank higher and be seen by more people. Those are free down below. My summer survival guide, if you're experiencing really slow summer sales right now and you want some ideas to just kind of market through the summer to help you survive while also preparing for when things get busy. I've got a little checklist that you can grab down below. And Amber Marie has created for you guys a wholesale cheat sheet that is going to be basically a cool spreadsheet that you can send out to people who want to work with you and who want to sell your products. So if you're interested in doing any type of wholesale deals, make sure you check that out. Be sure to watch the video that is included. Otherwise, you won't know how to download the cheat sheet.
Yes.
If you email us and say, can you give me access to this document? Then we will know that you did not watch the video.
Watch the friggin' video.
There is also a free masterclass, the 5 big picture steps that are essential for Etsy success. This is like a bird's eye view of the 5 most important things, in my opinion, that a seller needs to accomplish when building their Etsy shop to success, and how these things all work together like gears in a machine and they turn together. I always have people who ask me, like, what's the most important thing I need to do? Or where do I start? There's not really a starting point. If you've got a machine and only one gear is turning, it's not making the machine function. The gears all have to lock together and turn in unison for the machine to run properly. So that's what this webinar is going to cover. It's completely free. It's going to give you a little taste of my teaching style so you can kind of get an idea of what it's like to learn from me. That way, if you decide to enroll in my own Handmade Alpha Academy, which will be opened from June 14th through June 24th, only 10 days, you'll already have an idea of what to expect from my teaching. Yes. Speaking of which, Handmade Alpha Academy waiting list is down below as well. Sign up for that. It's not going to obligate you to buy, but it's going to ensure that you get a little bit more information about the course than our general email list people. You're going to get an invitation right when doors open. You're going to get $1,000 discount on the price of the course. And we're doing a ton of bonuses this year. I didn't even mention that. We are doing all of our normal bonuses. Plus, you guys get 1 year of eRank Pro. That's $120 value that we're going to pay for you. And you're also going to get our brand new graphics pack that Mark and I worked freaking hours on. Basically, it's going to be a drag and drop graphics pack that you can use for your marketing. All you got to do is grab the graphics and drag them onto your images using Canva or iPicky. You don't have to do any of the work. Super easy. So that's going to be a new freebie. And current students, you guys get that too. That should be in the bonuses vault sometime this weekend. So
congrats on Business Insider.
Oh yeah. We got featured in Business Insider. It was a while ago.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was a couple of
I don't pay attention.
No, we got featured. Our channel got featured in Business Insider, and I posted the comment about spreading peanut butter and jelly on your feet. And said, I don't know why Business Insider featured us. I can't imagine why they would do that.
If we're signed up to your email list already, do we need to sign up for the waiting list? Might still be a silly question.
Normal email list members will get the email.
Yes.
The waiting list is like our extra layer of security to ensure that you get the invitation. But waiting list members are going to get like a couple extra like emails.
Tidbits.
Yeah, just
It doesn't hurt. At the end of the day, when the email list is, it merges with our master list. So
yeah, you won't get signed up twice if that's what you're asking.
Will they get duplicates?
Nope. I have it set up so they shouldn't get any unless they've signed up for like 2 different ones.
Yeah. Other than that, that's pretty much it. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the like button if you haven't already. There's only 53 likes, and there's 106 of you here, so I know some of you haven't hit it. So hit that like button for us. It does us a big favor.
Hey,
do us a big favor.
That's for. Can you request feedback on your thank you message when item is sold? Yeah, totally. Ask for when that notification say like, hey, if you love your product, it would be really helpful if you gave me a
look into our swipe files.
Yeah. Oh yeah, my swipe files do that too. That's free down below.
Yes.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. For some of you, we hope to see you on Monday, bright and early. Not excited to wake up super early, but
we're night owls, but we get up early for you guys.
We'll do it for you.
You know that anxiety when you have a launch when like nothing sells in like the first 5 minutes of the launch?
Oh yeah, we get
that too. We'll open it. We'll be like, "Is something broke? Why is nobody signing up?" And then we remember people gotta like go to the website and scroll for 45 minutes, and then click on the link, and then fill out all the info. And then
you know how I imagine like the people who just scroll to the enrollment buttons. I imagine it like a little guy free falling, like falling down the page.
I wonder if we could just add a call to action on the page that zips them down to the bottom. Like a click here to go to the bottom.
Don't care about anything Starla has to say. Go to the bottom. Yeah.
Open enrollment is the 14th. Yes, 14th to the 24th at 11:59 p.m.
Yeah, we always have people who are like, yeah, that's a crazy marketing tactic. No, we don't have clean underwear. We do not have clean underwear. We cannot live another week with no clean underwear.
That's literally why we don't leave it up. Because you got to imagine the amount of support that goes in when you have your own website and you have something that it's not just a place where people go buy stuff. It's a website where people do things. So there's website upkeep and making sure that the website doesn't crash, which does happen during our launches sometimes where like 1,000 people will go to the website at the same time and our server's like, nah, not today. And it just dies. And then I have to contact SiteGround and be like, hey, what the heck? And then they're like, your pictures are too big on the website. And be like, no, just bring my website back up.
And then we've got emails like, I tried to enroll and I can't. I missed enrollment. I'm like, no, you didn't. It just opened.
Don't die.
Calm down.
Calm down.
Calm down, everybody.
All right, we leave on a funny note. We love you guys, and we will see you on Monday.
Yeah,
we'll see them on Monday because they're gonna come to the website.
You're gonna at least come look at it.
Come look at it at least. Don't be selfish. We do it for you, and so we can eat. And so we can eat.
We can eat and buy Judge Judy mugs and drink coffee. Goodbye.